Okay, welcome to my demonstration of SharpPlay. It's a custom music player I built. The GitHub is right here. Okay, I'm gonna try to get everything in this video, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So first of all, all you need is a jar file. These two, I downloaded myself, and I'll show in a second. And the user data gets created automatically when you first launch SharpPlay, if it isn't already there. Okay, so I've actually added some playlists and songs for a reason. But first, the instructions are very clear on the homepage. Demo songs and playlist icons are here. It's a public folder. You can download them and extract them, and then you can use. And they're all copyright free. And then I'll go through the step of the song I haven't done yet. So let me just, or first I should show some stuff. Okay, so this is the plays by month for each year, and then I can change the year. Here you can manage your playlist and songs. So these are my two playlists. It gives some information. You can rename, don't want to be mean, so I'll say not boring. And manage songs. Oh, this is better used when it's like bigger like that. Yep. You can see the author, the date added, the play count, and the file path. And you can change the color too. I'll keep it purple. You can delete songs. I'm not going to do that. And what else? Okay, so you can sort songs by date, color, and plays. Now, interestingly, I've made it so that if you repeat the sort, it'll reverse it. So for example, if I sort by color and do it again, it'll reverse that. And if I go by plays, all that cozy creative, and here all that cozy creative, in that order. So it works, and you can, I really like how I made it so that you can just do it both ways. If they're the same date, they won't actually totally reverse in order. So that's interesting. Anyways, I should probably add a song now. Okay, what song haven't I added? Okay, ACC. So you can select from files. ACC, Echoes of Sadness, great. Wait, I didn't add this one? Okay. I'm just gonna copy from here, and it puts the file name as the song name automatically, which is nice. Saves you some time. I'll make this blue and create the song, and it goes into here. Now you can add to playlists, so I'll put into Swan and Not Boring. So now it's added into both of these. And if I want to remove it, say from Not Boring, I can do the same, and it updates like that. Okay, right now I should probably add a new playlist. So playlist name, we can say default. And so by default, you can pick this one. Or you can have your custom and select an image. And actually, my program checks if the file is allowed or not. So for example, if I try to put my reference letter in here, oh, select file is not supported for image file. And this is the same thing for the songs. I just forgot to show it. Oh, there's also naming restrictions. So for example, can't have nothing. And I believe I put the limit as 30 characters. Let me just do that real quick. Yep. Okay. All right, now to actually make a playlist. Demo icons, I'll use candles. I mean, who doesn't like candles? Okay. What else? Oh yeah. Okay, so now the actual music player part. So here we have a song. I can control the volume. I'm gonna put it low so that doesn't affect anything. So by default, it repeats. And here's the timeline. You can also skip, which is awesome. And it goes to the end, it'll repeat. Now I can do looping. So all that, creative, And then I can also shuffle. Okay. That's just because I'm unlucky, okay? I promise it works. Yeah, there. Okay, the shuffle works. All right, that was just very unlucky. And yeah, I already showed sorting. Oh, you can go back. You can go forward. The play count only increases once you actually get to the end with the timeline, not if you jump to the next one, so it won't, inflate the plays. I mean, I think that's everything, right? Yeah, I already showed all this. Oh, I can show deleting a song. So for example, because of sadness, I'll put it in default. Okay, so it's in default in Swan, and I can just delete the song, and now it's no longer there, and everything works. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, all right, so that's it for the showcase. I mean, really fun to make. It took me definitely a very long time compared to my other projects. But it's worth it. Like, this custom music player, you can add any song. Yeah, okay. Now this is optional, probably everyone will leave now, but I'm just gonna go through a few of the interesting things I learned from this project. So the first one is about database management. So I was tracking plays and the plays of a song and also the songs in a playlist. And these are, different types. They're like array lists. You can't put an array list into a database. So what do? You create a new table and you match that, those custom values with an ID. And so then you can get all your playlists and then search for each playlist inside the new table with the IDs to get all of their matching songs. And it also allows you to access all of the songs, separate from the playlists. So that's really cool. Next is resources versus file. So I learned this the hard way. So the nice thing about resources, it's basically, get class and then get resources. And that's for when I'm having a jar file like this, right? The resources, all the icons, the default playlist icon, they're all inside this jar file, okay? And I tried, but when you're in Java, like when you're in the editor, you use the file path, like you can go source. Yeah, never, ever, ever do that. You always want to use get resource because once it's into a jar, I mean, it won't be able to find the directory using a file path, and then you've just made a lot of errors. So I had to go back and fix that, use get resources for everything. And then also for the icons, I needed to see if it was a playlist icon versus the default playlist icon versus the other icon that actually requires a file path, and differentiate between the two, because if you try to use resources with an actual file path, that won't work either. So that was a hard learn. Okay, next. Run later and different versions of the concept. The reason why I say different versions is basically like there are many different ways of doing run later that are like specific to the library. So like JavaFX has, can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I feel like it was run later, but the music player had like after load or something. But basically, you don't want to try to change something while the user is like interacting with it. So that goes for like playing media or like updating the GUI. So you have to do, like run later to make sure you're not doing that, or else you'll get errors. The code will crash. So for example, this timeline, it only starts once the media has loaded because we can't get the duration before the media is loaded. I don't know. All right. Next, attribution. Okay, so this is like in my README, I have the attributions for every icon I used. Now, the UX wing doesn't even require it, but I just decided to do it anyways because I think it's important to give like credits to the artist. Like my app wouldn't be nearly as good as it is if it didn't have these great icons that I didn't make. I downloaded them, and so I should give credit. And if people like these icons and they want them for themselves, they don't have to do some wild Google search. They can just get it from the README. Why it's a learning is that I didn't think of this before. So I had to go back and find every single one I used and find where I used them and then do the attribution. You should just do it right away as you use an icon. It would have saved me a big headache. And then last thing, organizing code. I mean, obviously organizing code is super important, but the bigger the project, like this is one of the biggest projects I've ever done. The only bigger project I've done is my game, but this one in second place now. Organizing, I mean, it's just so helpful. Yeah, okay. Helper methods, you got to keep the helper methods simple. I think I made some helper methods too, too specific to a certain circumstance, and then I would have to make another helper method for a similar circumstance, but that needed less specific. What I would have rather done is make a simpler helper method, and then you can make other methods that use that simpler helper methods for more, for more specific things. All right, the last thing, better method names. Okay, so like, for example, I had a method where like I disable or re-enable a region. So like when I switch modes, it enables or disables, the other modes, obviously. That's like a horrible name because it's just called disable region, and then you put a boolean true or false and the region, but it's like, it should be like toggle display or something like that. Basically, naming methods that have multiple use cases, you should have the multiple use cases in the name and not just assume that the person's going to know to put a boolean, because that makes your code super unreadable. And I learned that when I was doing the Java doc. I was like, wait a minute, this method name sucks. Okay, I think that's everything. I hope I covered it all in this video. I hope this app, you can download it. The access is on my GitHub. I mean, if you want privacy, customizability, and data, I mean, this is your go-to app here. It works. I've bug tested it a lot. You should be fine. I mean, even if you delete your user data, like delete some of these icons, like it'll recover. You can just delete the things I put in, like try and catch, to make sure you can still recover most of your stuff. So, I mean, the code's going to be a bit difficult to break, all right? I've really bug fixed it, bug tested it. And yeah, that's it. All right, thank you for watching. If anyone's still here, probably not.